This is the story of DeJuan Sims. On December 11th, 1994, DeJuan Sims was a 4-year-old little boy with a big smile whom was reported missing by his mother, DeJuana Harris. On the day that DeJuan went missing, his mom and her boyfriend, Victor, had just moved to a new apartment on Detroit's west side. Statements from their neighbors said that they hadn't had a chance to get to know the new family, but they seemed pretty quiet and pleasant from what they observed. This is what DeJuana stated happened leading up to her son's disappearance. She said that weekend was pretty normal and routine until it wasn't. According to her, that Saturday morning she went to the hair salon to get her hair done, and she brought DeJuan with her, and on the way they had stopped at a fast food restaurant to get lunch. That night, she and her boyfriend Victor had plans to go out, and DeJuan stayed the night at a friend of the family's home. The next morning, DeJuana said she picked him up around 10 a.m. From there, she said she and her son drove to a laundromat and she did about 5 loads of laundry and then went to her mom's home for a quick visit before returning to their apartment. When they arrived at their apartment, she said her boyfriend was sleeping. She needed to go to the Wonderland Mall and she didn't want to wake him to babysit DeJuan, so she took him with her. According to DeJuana, she and DeJuan arrived at the mall around 1:45 p.m. She parked and entered the mall through Target, where she planned to do her shopping. The store was too crowded, according to her, so they left and entered the mall. She said DeJuan wanted to go into a toy store as he had spotted some Power Ranger action figures, but they didn't go in. She said they continued on walking throughout the mall and she went past a perfume and clothing store when she realized that DeJuan was no longer with her. She said she instantly thought that he had gone back to the toy store. She claimed that she searched the mall for about 2 hours before contacting a security guard to let him know that her son was missing. Security immediately started to search the entire mall but found no trace of DeJuan. DeJuana's mother, DeJuan's grandma, worked part-time at a Foot Locker outlet in the mall, so she checked to see if her son had gone there, but he wasn't there either. The mall and surrounding areas were searched for about 3 days, and even the K-9 units weren't able to find a trace of him. From all customers and employees from the mall who were interviewed, they stated that they never saw DeJuan, only DeJuana. Security footage showed her walking alone after 3:30 p.m., about an hour and 45 minutes after she had claimed that he went missing. There were also 2 witnesses that said they saw her pulling up to the mall alone. After all footage was reviewed, it showed DeJuana walking into the mall alone and going directly to the security guard to report her son missing. Remember, she said that she searched for him for about 2 hours before reporting him missing. When police confronted her about the footage, she stuck to her story and claimed that she wasn't there, that wasn't her in the actual footage. She said that that was someone that looked like her. She also allowed the police to search her apartment and she took 2 polygraphs. They didn't find anything helpful in their search at her apartment, and she did fail both polygraph tests. And they say she ended up walking out on the second polygraph test. Detective Stevenson said that he believed DeJuana was close to confessing at one point, but she left the room before doing so. She didn't feel that failing the polygraph was a sign of her being guilty, and that the reason she failed, she said, was because she was so upset over her son missing. In the following weeks, police searched for evidence but couldn't find anything. They really focused on her apartment. They believed that they could bring charges against her, but it would be hard to do so without a body. Her family stuck by her side and believed she could never harm her son because she was such a doting mother. They also offered a $5,000 reward. The case eventually went cold, and DeJuana stopped cooperating with investigators. She eventually moved to North Carolina, married, and had 2 other children. In 2019, the family was given false hope when a man came forward and claimed to be DeJuan Sims. DeJuana spoke with the man, and she said she didn't believe he was her son. After DNA testing, it was found that he was not DeJuan. But unfortunately, the results came after DeJuana Harris had passed away. She died suddenly on December 7th, 2020, at the age of 59 of a heart attack, just 4 days shy of DeJuan's 26th anniversary of him being reported missing on December 11th. The case remains open, and anyone who knows something are encouraged to come forward. Anyone with information on the case are asked to call Livonia Police at 734-466-2470. I don't know. What do you think happened to DeJuan? From listening to the entire story, I do believe that his mom knew what happened to her baby if she wasn't the cause of his disappearance, especially with him not being on any of the video footage and the witnesses saying that they saw her pull up alone in the car and no one saw him with her in the mall. But I wonder if the family friends were interviewed to confirm that DeJuan spent the night with them that night before. I couldn't find any evidence of that. I also wonder if the boyfriend maybe harmed DeJuan and that DeJuan tried to cover it up for him. But it is suspicious. I definitely think she knows what happened, and she took that with her to the grave, unfortunately. But let me know what you think. Do you think DeJuan had something to do with DeJuan's disappearance? Or if she knows, she might have known what had happened to him, or if he actually went missing. Please comment down below. Please like, share, and subscribe. I thank you so much for watching True Time Crime with Fenice, and thank you for listening to DeJuan's story. Bye-bye.
It's a missing persons case that has remained unsolved for, 3 decades now. It was 30 years ago today when 4-year-old DeJuan Sims simply vanished.
You know, his mom, Dawana Harris, told police they went to Wonderland Mall in Livonia. She said the boy was by her side one moment and gone the next.
Their mama loves you, Buki loves you, everybody loves you, and we waiting on you to come home. We got your Christmas ready, and just come home.
Dawana Harris has since passed away, and the decades-long mystery of what happened to little DeJuan continues.
Our Pamela Osborne talked to investigators and went through our archives to take a look back at that cold case that left so many here in Southeast Michigan chilled. Pamela joins us now. The case that generated so much attention. Hey, Pamela.
Hi, I was just 8 years old when DeJuan Sims disappeared, living a couple of towns away from Livonia, the last place that he was reportedly seen alive. I remember the fear, the sense of urgency, and finding this little boy who to this day has yet to be found. His face, his story, familiar to so many here in Southeast Michigan, all these years later.
DeJuan is of average height and weight for a 4-year-old.
His disappearance triggering a massive, exhaustive search.
We were looking in different areas of Detroit, Livonia.
It was here at the Wonderland Mall in Livonia where DeJuan's mother first reported him missing.
Mother was shopping at Target yesterday about 2 o'clock. She left Target to go into the main mall area, and she says that her boy disappeared at that time.
Livonia Police Captain Greg Yon was part of that search.
Well, I remember, getting called into work.
As they retraced Dawana Harris's steps that December day, they found themselves with more questions than answers.
The entrance that she decided that she was telling us that she walked into, we never had her walking into that entrance with him ever on that video, which led us to believe that something different had happened than what she was reporting to us.
There was something else about those surveillance tapes that stood out. According to the captain, the way Dawana moved through that mall with a security guard who helped search for DeJuan seemed off.
The video footage of her walking throughout the mall, walking with what I recall to see at one point was a security officer, and he's questioning people because she's not engaged with the officer. She's basically looking at stuff on the shelf. Your sixth sense kicks in and says, this isn't right.
Minutes turn to hours, hours into days.
The big story at 6, where is DeJuan Sims? The search continues this morning for the 4-year-old boy who disappeared from a Livonia mall on Sunday. He's been missing now for 2 days, and police wonder how DeJuan could have disappeared from the mall without anyone seeing him.
DeJuan's disappearance led every newscast.
Evidence that we have from the tapes would indicate that DeJuan Sims was not at the mall.
Paula Tutman, Newsbeat.
Paula Tutman wasn't assigned to cover the story, but followed the developments closely.
I got stuck as a journalist and as a person on there's a missing child whose mother lied.
I reached out to Zachary Sims, that's DeJuan's father. I did not hear back, but in October, he made a post for DeJuan's 34th birthday saying he thinks about him every single day and is holding out hope that a miracle will happen, that DeJuan will be found alive. Now's a good time to mention if you have any information at all, because as you heard there, Livonia police do feel that someone knows something. The number to call is right there on your screen. We've also posted it for you on our website. Click on Detroit.com.